Hello, everyone. How are you doing? How was your 4th of July long weekend? I hope it was awesome. I hope you had the time to spend doing something that you love, whether that be outdoors or with friends or family. And I hope that you have an awesome weekend. And you all totally deserve it because I don't know if you saw my gifts, but your papers for week 3 were fabulous. I was so happy with them. I think that you all are doing an amazing job. You're working really hard. And again, this is not the ideal format to take a history class. It's so much better in person. And especially because I get to give you kind of these instructions, a lot of times you have to kind of teach yourself the material, which makes me sad because I love lecturing and having these conversations, but you all are rising to the occasion. And your paper that you just submitted and I graded was just wonderful. And I'm so proud of you. And now that you've seen everything, you know exactly what to expect as we head into the next month of this course. And most importantly, we are halfway done with the semester. That's how fast these 8-week classes go. And so, congratulations for your great papers. Congratulations for completing half of the course. And so now all you need to do is just do exactly what you did the first 4 weeks and just do that these next 4 weeks. And we will all, finish the month well and head into August when I can meet you all on campus and you guys will start college with a solid grade and a solid summer experience under your belt. And that was the exact purpose of all this. So thank you for doing awesome. And if you did have like small things here or there on your papers, no problem. You have 2 more chances to kind of work through those issues and we can clean them up for papers 2 and 3. And so I first wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you. You're doing great. Keep up the great work. The second thing I wanted to let you know is that this afternoon I'm going to go on and give you feedback on your discussion boards for week 4. Now, I looked through them already, so I did a little bit of trolling this morning and they look really good. Continue to remember to spread out your posts between multiple questions because now that you've seen a paper, this is practice for your paper. So if you just kind of stick to one question, that's great because you're going to be an expert in that one question, but you want to show me breadth of knowledge in addition to depth. So of course, go back and answer questions and comments that maybe somebody posted on your original post, but don't forget to spread out your responses between multiple posts. And many of you did that this week, so keep up the good work. The second thing is that some of you did post 1, 2, 3 last night at 11:30. Okay, I even got some responses today. Now, I did give you the advice to do it before the holiday weekend so that you don't have it hanging over your head. If you did do that and did it at the last minute last night or today, now you kind of know that for this week, don't let it go till the end. Part of adulting and part of college is just time management, right? And getting things done with a decent amount of time so you're not waiting till the last minute. Because usually, if we wait till the last minute, we tend to be anxious. And when we're anxious, we kind of rush through things, we're stressed. And then later we think, oh, wow, I really had something good to say about that. I just didn't take the time to do it. So be sure to start. That's why that initial post is due Wednesday so that you can get that work done ahead of time to kind of think about it, let it marinate, and then respond to your colleagues. And many of you last year were posting like Ronnie, Bryce, Mackenzie. I saw y'all posting like Monday and Tuesday, and I was like, yes, they listened to me. So great job. So for this week, we have an awesome unit that we're going to begin, and it's a 2-part unit that I call Antebellum America. Now, I don't call it that. It's what historians call it. Sorry, there's a car alarm going off, so it's kind of distracting me. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, car alarm's off. We're ready to go. All right, antebellum America is the period before the American Civil War. And so this is kind of what I teach. This is what I study. This is what I research. And you're going to see there's a lot of good topics. And so we're going to kind of stop the chronological movement and do more topical things. So I split antebellum into 2 parts. One part will be week 5, part 2 will be week 6, and then you'll write your next paper. So for part 1 of Antebellum America, you're going to see 5 major topics. The first, antebellum slavery. So now we're going to be talking about King Cotton and the domestic slave trade and how slavery is going to begin to grow bigger, stronger, and move westward. Okay. The second topic is going to be transportation, canals, steamboats, railroads. The third topic will be manufacturing and how we kind of move from farms to factories to mass produce products. And then we're going to talk about gender, which is one of everybody's favorite topics. My students on campus call it the sex talk with LT. So you won't get the sex talk, you'll get the sex lecture, but you'll see how not only do we see first wave feminism and women saying like, hey, we really want to vote and like own our own property and maybe like get a divorce if we're, being abused. And so we're going to see women fight for rights, but then we're also going to see women and men come together and say, we need to limit the size of our families because having children now aren't there to like work on your farm. You have to find them a job and find them money and feed them and clothe them. And so kids become expensive. And so we'll see how we start making and trying to control, making methods of birth control and trying to control the family size. And then the last topic, and this is what I did the local history for, and you'll see a discussion thread on this, is immigration. And so we're going to see 3 groups come at this time: the Irish, the Germans, and the Chinese. And unfortunately, I didn't touch on the Chinese in this lecture. They're coming to the West Coast, so I'm primarily focusing on the East Coast. And you'll see if you're German or Irish, right, you think, oh, we're just white. No, there's a long, complicated history of immigration in this country. And if you like this kind of stuff, take my Minorities in American History class. I teach it every fall. It's one of my favorite classes. And we go through every minority group, white, Latin, Asian, Black, Hispanic, Arab, everything, right? But as we go through, we kind of learn like, wow, when immigrants came, like even if they're accepted now, when they first came, their different cultures, languages, traditions are seen as the other, right? And so if you're German or Irish, you may or may not know this about your family, but I hope the little bit that I give you in the PowerPoint, you will kind of be able to think about and apply and talk to your family and friends about. Okay, so that's 5 topics. It's kind of a lot. Stick with the PowerPoint, break off each topic at a time, do 10 slides at a time. Don't try to look at it all and go through it and then head to the discussion boards because you're gonna need a lot more time with these before just heading to the quiz or the discussion boards. Okay, so if you have questions, again, I can always Zoom with you. I can send you an email. I can explain things. Please don't hesitate to ask. I know this is a lot of material. It's my favorite kind of part of the semester because we're really warming up and, seeing the roots of the Civil War, if you haven't already, begin to develop, but it is a lot. So please take your time with it. Please work through the discussion boards like you've been doing, and be sure to reach out if you have any questions. There's one other thing I did want to mention today to put the little bug in your ear. And I'll repeat it next Monday when I send you the kind of weekly update, is that I don't know if I told you all this when we first started at the beginning of the semester, but I was supposed to get married on July 18th. And so John, my fiance, and I were having a big blowout wedding bash here in St. Louis with 200 people. And because of COVID, we're not having it. We're moving it to July 2021. So just like y'all kind of had this happen to you with your prom and your graduation, I'm kind of in the same boat. And so in order to kind of celebrate what would have been our wedding day and kind of have a summer vacation, is we are going to be leaving the country for 5 days from July 14th through July 19th. And so I know this is in the middle of the semester. It's in a paper week for you all. So I hate to kind of go off the grid. And because I will be international, I won't have email and I won't have my phone with me. I'll have my phone, but I won't have it on to be able to talk. And so unfortunately, hold on, my lunch is done. Give me 1 second. Okay. So unfortunately, since I won't be able to talk to you all, I do want to give you a heads up that on July 14th, I will be off the map until July 19th, which is a Sunday when your papers due. I hate to do this. I scheduled this vacation once we canceled our wedding and before I knew I was teaching you all, but I honestly feel like you guys are doing so great that you won't really need me. But I wanted to let you know that I will be leaving. I will give you another update of this next week before I leave and kind of like the plan. But basically, if you want to finish week 5, discussion boards and quiz, and kind of head into week 6, read over that lecture and then start looking at your paper, your second paper that's due July 19th. Feel free to do that now so you can email me your paper. I can give you some feedback and we can get that kind of looked at before I leave the country on the 14th. And so let me know if I can help. And again, I apologize that my vacation kind of falls the same time as the semester, but basically my advice for paper 2 is just do the same thing you did. And if there were some points where you missed here or there, whether it was like making paragraphs, whether it was like on the regions paper, I know some of you just maybe covered the South and kind of looking at all 3 regions, right? Or kind of making a more bolder argument and making sure you analyze it in addition to the evidence. Whatever comments I put on there, that's what you should follow for the second paper, because the format's exactly the same. Now, of course, the questions and the content change, but it's the exact type of style. And so read over that feedback. Let me know if you have questions. I don't want you to feel like you're really alone because I'll be out of the country, but I promise I'll get you ready next week before I leave. And then when I come back, I'll grade your papers and we'll go right on. And the great thing is, like, I'm going to come back with a great tan. I'm going to be super relaxed. Like, it'll be like the LT return from vacation LT mode, which is something that rarely happens, but is great. So thanks so much for understanding that. Please let me know if you need anything. Keep up the awesome work. Check out my local histories this week. We went on a driving tour because there was a lot to cover, so it's a little bit different than the last few I've done. And of course, as always, keep up the great work. So have an awesome week, y'all. Welcome to Antebellum America. Welcome to the second part of the semester. And I will grade your discussion board shortly, so you'll see them populate. All right, y'all. Have a great week. Bye.